What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? Welcome back to another episode of BizBuzz Live. We're live here on LinkedIn, live here on YouTube. So excited you can join me again. Hey, today we're going to dive right in. Are there more layoffs coming? Why did Trump flip out about the jobs report being so inaccurate? Does he know something? Is he trying to cover something up? This is not a political uh, post or not a political live, but we are going to talk about these layoffs and what the job report in the month of June says about where we are. So stick around. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another episode of BizBuzz Live. I'm your host, Chris Muzan, talking all things finances with you. I'm your financial coach, helping you through all the things that you might have questions about or you might not be thinking about. As always, the reason I always want to give context, y'all, the reason why we started this show, the reason why we chose to start BizBuzz Live here on LinkedIn and YouTube is because inevitably, being in the financial space for some time, going on almost 13 years now. When I sit down with people financially, whether we're talking about their investments, whether we're talking about their debt, whether it's their savings or their insurance or whatever it is, inevitably the conversation comes back to cash flow. It comes back to how much is coming in and how much is going out. Again, we've done a good job as a financial industry, I believe, to talk about the what's going out. There was the whole latte movement. Stop buying your $5 latte, invest it in something and it'll grow. There's the whole make sure you're budgeting, right? Dave Ramsey side of things. There's even ways, right? All the apps that would come out that would start to track where the money's going. All those things are good. The other side of the equation, though, is how do we make more money? Like, how are we bringing in more income? If that is something that's needed, if that is the solution to fix the majority of our financial problems, which I would probably say if you are struggling with cash flow, 80 to 90% of you are really just struggling with bringing in more income. You might be okay with where the money's going. I know I hear this all the time when I sit down with people. They're like, I don't spend frivolously. Like, I don't do all these lavish things. Like, that's fine. You have little areas that you do spend. But if you're okay with those and you don't think it's outrageous, then the real answer is, how do I go make more money? What are my options out there? And I think we need to create the conversation around how we bring in income. So obviously, we all have been taught, 95% of us at least, have been taught the traditional method over the past 40 to 50 years, which is go to school, get good grades, get some higher education, get a job, work at that job, get a job with good benefits, let that job pay for your lifestyle, buy a house, get married, have kids, retire with a pension and Social Security, and call it a day. That's how most of us were trained to go off and live this life of creating income. But what if that life doesn't create the life you want? What if you never found the job with good benefits? What if you never found the job with a pension? What if you never liked working at a place? What if you kept bouncing around and there was no job that you actually liked? Your life was miserable. Maybe you did start making income, but you had those golden handcuffs. Those golden handcuffs. Some of you are experiencing that right now as we speak. The golden handcuffs, for those of you that don't know, are when your job pays you so well. Your job pays you well. You have a quality of life that maybe some people don't have. You get a little freedom. They give you a corporate car. They give you an expense card so you can write some things off so you don't have to pay for it. But inside, that thing is draining you. You're not happy. You're not fulfilled. You can't wait to leave. but it's paying for your lifestyle. That's what golden handcuffs are. You know how many people I talk to that are sitting in that exact position? That might be you. It might be you. So if that's the only path that we knew, that's why we stick with it. It's creating something for us, but it's actually draining who we are. Your work, what you do to make income, should not drain who you are. It should not deplete you of you, like your soul, like all those things, your fulfillment. So if that is never been a path for you, or you're now figuring out, because that's normally what happens, eventually we figure out like this isn't the path for me. The question is, what are the other paths? So some people start doing the gig economy. They'll start driving Uber or Lyft or DoorDash or Amazon delivery or whatever the things, because they believe, okay, well, at least I can control a little bit of my income by this. Some people have an idea and say, you know what, I'm good at selling food. I'm going to sell some plates. I'm going to create this little thing where I sell some jewelry, or I walk around and sell goods around the neighborhood, or maybe I, jump into a business where I don't know, have inventory. You sell Mary Kay or whatever. I'm not sure. That's a way people start to take advantage of their income, right? Like kind of really impact it. Then you got people that are full entrepreneurs, don't have a job at all, run business, always looking for opportunity, always looking for investments, always looking for a way to be able to continue to kind of grow their net worth, so to speak. Maybe different industries, maybe thinking about one business industry, selling off that business, moving into something different, diversifying their portfolio. Wherever you sit, at the end of the day, you have to be knowledgeable about what's happening in society. The way that we get out of the 9 to 5 or get out of the life that isn't fulfilling us is to become aware with what's happening around us, what's happening in society, what industries are blowing up, what types of business models are doing well right now, where is our country moving towards, where's the workforce moving towards, what's happening with AI, what's happening with corporate America, what's going on in the gig economy, what's happening, right? Like we have to learn how these things work. And sometimes when our head's down, just thinking about our job, and then when we get off of our job, we're thinking about how can we not think about anything that has to do with the job or work, we are missing out on how to create that life where you have life where you want it. You make the income that you want. You're fulfilled with what you do. So that's why we started the show, so we can talk about these things. Well, it just so happens that like this past month, the jobs report, right? The government puts out a jobs report to talk about the state of employment here. Our president wasn't too happy with it. Matter of fact, I think, I'm not a political pundit. I don't know. I think he fired the person, right? He fired the person that put it out, whoever was in charge of that. Why'd he fire them? Because it wasn't looking too good, basically. It wasn't looking too good. And so we wanted to go over some of those things today to just, again, get an understanding or make sure you are aware. Are there more layoffs coming? Are there more layoffs coming? And if so, what can you do about it if there are more layoffs coming? We spent the whole first quarter of this year, January, February, March, talking about layoffs. Private sector, public sector, the government, all the stuff. We talked about it. Just started happening. Then the second quarter, a little bit slow down, but more private sector started laying people off. Companies filing bankruptcy, retail stores filing bankruptcy. Go back and watch some of the other older episodes of BizBuzz. That's the stuff that we were talking about. And then we started switching and started having some conversations around, well, what can you do? What skill sets do you need to have so that you're not on the chopping block? So that when your job is ready to quit you, right? A lot of times we think we're in control of when we quit our job. But what about when your job's ready to quit you? When they're like, yeah, our time here is done. Well, what skill sets have you created in order to make sure you and your family still have income? Layoffs are devastating. That's why we talked about it in the beginning of the year. They're devastating because the majority of them are unexpected. it's like a reset of your life. Like you don't know what to do. You don't know where to go. You don't know what skills. You kind of just look for the same thing you've been doing. You've been in a trance the whole time. So when you get laid off and it blindsides you, you're like, man, well, what do I do now? Like, how am I going to pay them? Like you don't innately just tap into your gifts, your abilities, your skills, learning exactly what to go do. That's my encouragement to you is if you are in corporate right now, while you're heading in this direction, if layoffs are coming, let's not be surprised. Let's not be caught off guard. Let's prepare. That's all. I'm not here to bash jobs, but just know it's not looking good in corporate America. Probably next Friday, I'll have this conversation with you guys about what's happening in corporate. And when I say corporate, right, it's just your business, your corporation structure at the highest levels, not the lowest levels. Some of you on LinkedIn that are listening to me, we're talking about, your senior level managers, your people that are making $175,000 a year. Like those are the people that are getting impacted right now. They're getting impacted for a few different reasons. Matter of fact, let me share this with you really quickly because this is something I came across to talk specifically about what's happening right now in corporate. I'm going to share this.
We have some news right now. A CEO is under fire for saying that he is extremely excited to fire his employees and replace them with AI because AI doesn't ask for a pay raise. This is a stunning article from Futurism that you should read with me. Elijah Clark is a chief executive who advises other head honchos on using AI at their companies. He told Gizmodo that CEOs are extremely excited about the opportunities that AI brings. Why? Because as a CEO himself, excited, he's laid off employees because of AI. AI doesn't go on strike. It doesn't ask for a pay raise. These are things you don't have to deal with as a CEO. This is one of those mask off moments for CEO that put profits ahead of their own people. And they're willing, and now they're extremely excited to fire employees and replace them with AI. Why? Because AI isn't asking for a pay raise. Spread the word and follow along the update on all the news you need to know about. More to come soon. We have some news right now. A CEO is under.
There we go, y'all. You heard it. Again, you might have a different take. You might not have maybe agreed 1,000% with that. That a bunch of CEOs are now paying attention to AI and now they're happy to fire people. I don't know that people are happy to be fired, but just know it's happening. The jobs report that came out said these are some of the things to pay attention to. They're early signs that the job market is slowing down. It says pay is rising more slowly and fewer jobs are being added. Could it be because of the rise of technology? Possibly. Could it be just because they're finding more efficient and effective ways to run their business? Sure. Could it be that they care about profits over people? Sure. Good, bad, and different. How does this impact you? If you have a job, if this is how you're looking at your ability to earn income, how are we planning to maybe set ourselves up either in corporate or set ourselves up outside of corporate, outside of the job? Young adults, this was a startling one in the jobs report, said young adults ages 20 to 24 have a higher unemployment. They're at like 8.2% unemployment. Now, it could be because they're lazy. They might, right? 20 to 24-year-olds, some of them, right? We can't categorize all of them. If you're 20 to 24-year-old, drop your comment, tell me you're not lazy. But 20 to 24-year-olds are unemployed at a higher rate right now, 8.2% of them unemployed, partially maybe because they're lazy, partially because maybe there's no job for them. Maybe there's no employment. There's no place for them to go actually work. So again, these are signs that the job market could be slowing down. You know, another sign, it said in the jobs report that fewer people are quitting jobs. Fewer people are quitting. Well, what does it mean when fewer people quit? It means that like people are a little scared of job security. They're scared that, oh, I might not be able to find anything better than this. There might not be anything out there for me. So I'm going to hold on to what I have. Like I said, That's great if you're choosing not to quit. But the other side is, what if your business quits on you? What if your job quits on you? We call that being fired, but what if your job quits on you? We just talked about this 2 weeks ago with UPS. UPS offering voluntary buyouts, voluntary layoffs for their truckers, for the people that are driving the trucks. Say, hey, take this $1,800 per year that you worked here, keep your benefits and get out of here. We want you off the books. We're trying to downsize. We're trying to make sure that we're efficient and effective for our shareholders, for whatever the strength of the business. Good, bad, and different. We're not here to judge, because most people, again, you're on one side of the fence of, oh, right, that's why corporation's not good, but you still have a job, right? Like, so you can complain about it all you want, but if you still have a job, then your option is to say, okay, I'm either going to be here and learn how to play the game, get good at the game, or I'm going to bounce out and I'm going to figure out the game outside of here. If you want to play the game in corporate America, what I would encourage you to do is start to learn some more skills. Start to learn some more skill sets. If the people that get laid off are typically people that can be replaced easily, they can be replaced simply. And so we have to, again, grow our skill set. If you are scared that AI is going to take your job, learn AI. Don't be fearful of, don't push against the tidal wave. You don't act as if you can control and push against the tidal wave. It's already here. So if you're scared of it, learn it, lean into it. We can't be fearful of the things that we inherently know and are accustomed to and learn to like and use. So again, if you're fearful of that, learn how to play the game. I was sharing this with a client of mine that like is in the process of kind of getting recruited by a different agency or a different company, and the company offered her less money than the company she's with. And she's like, why would I take less money? I was like, well, you got to know how to play the game. Maybe it gives you a better quality of life. Maybe it's more notoriety. Maybe there's more room for advancement. Maybe, you know, they give you multiple days off or better vacation time or better benefits. So just because you take a little bit of a pay cut might mean your life is better. And so she understood that side. And then I was like, but the other side is, if you stay with where you are, use it as leverage. Use it as leverage. If they don't want to get rid of you, then leverage that. Learn how to play this game. Learn that in corporate, right? It's every man for himself. So your boss reports to his boss, reports to his boss. So if you make your boss look good, then you'll look good. You'll be favored by your boss. If you help the company do the things they want to do, you'll look favorable. If you're always demanding, asking for this thing, asking for a raise, asking them to be moved, asking for this, well, now you're not favorable to your boss. So that's not how you play the corporate game. So playing the corporate game is important to learn if you want to stay there. But again, if you're fearful that you're going to get laid off, if you're fearful that there's more layoffs coming, you're fearful that, man, I don't know if this is going to be around for the next 3 years, then you need to pivot. And the way you pivot is not quitting your job right away. It's by upgrading your skill set. It's by learning how to create new skills for yourself that then can be used in the marketplace. We make money at the level of our skill set. We make money at the level of our skill set. Things that are valuable to the marketplace, not to you, but that are valuable to the marketplace. The more skills you have to value the marketplace, the more opportunities will come your way, the more money you can make. If you have a skill set that does not value anyone but you or the role that you're in right now, over time, you'll be on the chopping block. I know sometimes we don't want to think about it, but I'm here to make sure you're prepared, because I work with people on the other side that get laid off and now their whole world is flipped upside down and they have no idea what to go do. My encouragement is always, while you're there, while you're at the job, if you want to keep playing the corporate game, then you still need to be looking at other companies. You still need to be making yourself attractive to the other companies in your industry to level up. To go from one, it's kind of like the right? Like the stepping zones, like you bounce here to here to here to here. You just keep like bouncing up higher by going to different companies, by moving. I know back in the day, they would tell you, hey, you got to stick with a company. My grandma worked with a company for 30 years of her life. I'm sure some of y'all have parents and grandparents that worked for a company for 30 years, 25 years, 28 years, 42 years. In 2025, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know that that's possible. You might want to, but your company is not going to want you. They're changing so fast, so rapidly that I don't know that they're going to want you to be there for 28 years. So what do you do? Because this is about your financial life. This is about you supporting your children. This is about you supporting your family. Here's what I recommend. You start to develop some skill sets. You've heard me say this before. I recommend, if you're going to get into the world of entrepreneurship, the world of learning how to generate income for yourself. Listen, I know some of you on LinkedIn are like, I'll go be a consultant. That's a form of entrepreneurship. It's a form of self-employment, to go be a consultant, to take all of your experience from corporate and then go consult with other companies. It's all the same. It's self-employment. The skills that you need are sales and marketing if you're going to bounce out and do anything outside of the corporate realm. Sales and marketing. You have to develop skill sets in those, not to mention the specialized industry or the specialized niche that you're in, but you probably already have that information. You probably already have been working in that space for 27 years, for 14 years, or whatever the case is, right? You've gained some knowledge around that specialized thing that you're going to go consult about anyway, that you're going to go build a business around anyway. So you might not need more knowledge on that. That's the same level of knowledge you have now is why you make the same money over there. But if you want to grow, if you want to, what's the word I'm looking for? To like cocoon yourself, right? To shield yourself from corporate layoffs, what this job reports is saying about a slowing market, you got to go pick up new skills. Skills I recommend: sales and marketing. Sales, your ability to influence another person, your ability to communicate. You want to go, right? Again, you want to go be a consultant. I'm not talking about a car salesman. I'm not talking about, right, somebody that sells fax machines, if they're still around. I don't think they are, but you know what I mean. But like, for you to say, hey, there's an idea that I have and a knowledge and an expertise that I have. How do I get someone to understand that? How do I share with them what I do and why it's important for them to want to transact with me, for them to want to bring me on? I have to learn how to influence someone to say, hey, what I do, you need. That's just sales. If you've never practiced this, if you're 15 years in corporate America, 10 years in corporate, and you've never practiced, then that's why I'm challenging you, encouraging you to practice. Keep your job, practice some sales stuff, practice learning to sell some things. My daughter's 8. She's learning how to sell in multiple ways. In our life, some of y'all parents may not agree. It is what it is, right? We all have different parenting styles. Like, I'll debate with my 8-year-old because I want her to be able to learn how to influence. Now, right now, my influence is stronger, right? I can overcome what she's thinking about or saying and influence her to do the things the way I think about it. But eventually, the more she learns and practices that skill, I think a lot of kids have it. It's just some parents shut it down. Like, don't talk back, don't sit like, but that's a ability to influence another person to what you believe should happen. Now, a good child's mind, they normally, what they believe isn't right, or isn't the best for them. So that's why as a parent, you have to sell them on why your thoughts are better. I'm training her in an early age how to do that. Not to mention being able to sell candy, right? She got a box of candy. She went to the pool. She walks up to people. Hey, I got some Airheads. They're 50 cents each, or I could do 5 for $2. Right? Like, she's just learning how to influence. That is a skill set as an adult. If you want to protect yourself from ever being laid off, you could build. It's a skill set. The other side is marketing. How do you get attention? Marketing is attention. Who knows you? Who do you get around? Who sees you? Building a personal brand, aka a personal reputation online, is important in 2025. I know you don't like it. You're shy of the camera, right? You don't feel like you have anything to say. It feels awkward. You just rather scroll and look at people. I get it, right? And if you want to be an entrepreneur, grow something for your family, protect yourself from corporate layoffs so you always have something, then building a personal reputation online is very important. Personal brand, personal reputation. What do you want people to know you as? Just in your life, if you're goofy, if you like certain type of music, if you have a great relationship with your family, if you have little quirks, if you like the gym, if you like food, like just build a reputation for yourself. I know the old thinking. Nobody wants to watch me eat my food. Nobody wants to know what I ate for lunch. Okay, you can believe that. And I could point you in the direction of probably a few hundred food influencers that are making probably and possibly more money than you by eating food, whatever your beliefs are. But again, I'm trying to help you kind of get yourself to a position where you're not impacted in your cash flow, where you're not impacted by a layoff. You're not impacted by a certain industry going out of business. Like you're not impacted by it because you've developed some skills that can help you figure it out. You're going to deal with money for the rest of your life. It makes sense that you figure out how to earn it. You got to figure out how to earn it. And so that's what we're here to do, y'all. Help you learn how to earn some money. So don't listen to the jobs report. Listen to it because it's right. Could be true. Again, our president doesn't believe it is. But the jobs report says things are slowing down. Again, there's more layoffs coming. Again, that there's industries that are not growing, that people are stuck or staying at their jobs because they're scared of job security. They don't want to leave. We're probably feeling this happen. You might be feeling this right now at your job. How do you get through it? I gave you two things on this show. One, you want to keep playing the corporate game. That's perfectly fine. Learn how to play the game better. Learn how to bounce. Learn how to leverage. Learn how to support your supervisors. Learn how to support your bosses. Learn how to AI can lower the bottom line. It'll keep your job, but then you can present it to someone and it helps them help make money at on the bottom line, like bring money to the bottom line. You're an asset for that company. Now you've kept yourself alive. Now that goes on your resume. Now in a year, 2 years, you bounce to this company, say, hey, I did that for them. I could do this for you. Now you're just moving up the ladder. That's how you play the corporate game. It's not by sitting in the same position over and over again. You're a sitting duck. You're a sitting duck. The higher you climb that, the more there's a target on your back. That's the way it works. You got to know these things. You got to know it if you want to play that game. If you hear that and you're like, I don't want to play that game, or right, I would tell you, don't like not believe me, because that's the way it works. But like, let's say you don't want to play that game anymore, then you need to create skill sets for yourself. Specifically, my opinion, sales and marketing. Sales, your ability to influence and communicate to people. Marketing, your ability to garner attention, to build a reputation for yourself. Those two things will take you to wherever you want to go. Money follows attention. I don't really know what your industry is going to be, what your niche is going to be, how you're going to consult, what business you're going to start. I don't know. But if you know sales and you know marketing, you can take that anywhere and you will never be without money if you get good at it. If you're not good at it, you don't make money, just like everything. But that is something that you can get good at and you can start today, y'all. All right. Every Friday, we're trying to jump on here. Man, it's August already. School's about to come back around. You're about to get back into the flow of things. But I want y'all to always understand, right? The person that controls your income controls your life. If you can control your income, you can control the rest of your financial life and all the things that come from it. Every single Friday, y'all, 10:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 a.m. Pacific. We might want to change it to get our West Coast friends in here. I don't know. We might shift around come the fall schedule. Right. In the fall, my daughter goes to gymnastics. Her schedule changes from the summer. So maybe we got to switch this to a different fall schedule so more people can pick this up. If you're picking this up on a replay, again, feel free to drop a comment here on YouTube or here on LinkedIn. And otherwise, I will see you next Friday for another episode of BizBuzz Live.